In this video, I'm going to show you a daily fat burning routine that you can follow so you can turn your body into a fat burning machine. And make sure to stick around until the end of the video because I'm going to give you some advanced strategies. I'm going to give away all my secrets. These are the exact same tips that I give to all my students, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. So you know it works. Before I get started, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to get notified every time I post a new video every week. It really helps support my channel. Alright, let's get into it. I initially transformed my body 9 years ago and I haven't looked back ever since. And over the years, as I learned more about fitness and nutrition, I've also improved and refined my daily routine. I mean, we are creatures of habits after all. So I'm going to show you what a typical daily eating routine is for me, as well as my daily healthy habits that I practice overall. Feel free to make some changes and make it your own. And if you want to know more about specific topics that I talk about, feel free to watch my other videos. You can also check out the links to my program somewhere at the top here or in the description box. Let's start from the top of the day. I normally wake up at 7 in the morning every day. It doesn't matter if it's the weekend. I do it to optimize my circadian clock, and it's one of the best things that you can do for your body. I'll normally drink a glass of water and then I'll have a cup of coffee. I love coffee. I honestly drink it for the taste. Caffeine for me is honestly just a bonus. It's one of the simple pleasures of life for me. And then I'll get into my morning ritual. Easily one of the most important parts of my day. You need to do everything in your power to get your morning right. You need to protect it at all costs because it's going to set the tone for the rest of your day. I mean, 80% of people check their phone the moment they wake up, so don't be part of that statistic. First, I practice 3 rounds of the Wim Hof breathing method. If you've never heard of Wim Hof before, you should look him up after watching this video. He's nicknamed the Iceman and he holds 21 Guinness World Records. And he's basically amassed a cult-like following. But basically, the Wim Hof breathing method is a controlled hyperventilation or power breathing followed by a retention time. You're inducing voluntarily a short stress response, which will ultimately lead to more resilience toward everyday stress and feeling more in control. After that, I do my daily gratitude practice by journaling 5 things I'm grateful for. Why do I do those things? Well, practicing mindfulness and gratitude is one of the best ways to lower stress, anxiety, and depression. It's basically like free therapy. I used to be too cool for school when it comes to practicing it, but it's honestly been life-changing for me. I believe that mental health is true wealth these days. In terms of food, I don't eat my first meal until 1:30 in the afternoon. This is more commonly known as time-restricted feeding or intermittent fasting. And I have lots of energy to fuel me for the first half of my day because I'm metabolically flexible, which means my body is good at tapping into stored energy, aka body fat. I've trained it over the years to do just that. After my morning ritual, I walk to the gym shirtless to get my daily dose of vitamin D. I also average around 12,000 steps every day. Walking is the lowest hanging fruit when it comes to exercise. I'd argue that getting at least 10,000 steps every day is even more important than a structured workout routine. Walking can get you pretty far when it comes to your weight loss goals, literally. You should check out this video if you want to know more about it. But let's quickly talk about exercise. I have been training in a fasted state since 2012. I even did a 7-day water fast and I worked out every day. I don't need pre-workout or BCAA or feel the need to drink a protein shake afterwards. It doesn't matter what the workout is, whether it's a heavy leg day, flipping tires on the beach, a CrossFit workout, or whether I'm doing Muay Thai, I always have tons of energy. Heck, I was in a fasted state when I broke all the provincial records in my weight class and placed second in my weight class worldwide in international competition when I used to be a competitive athlete. Guys, workout supplements are overrated. You don't need them. Save your money and buy high quality food instead. The best workout drink is water or coffee. When I get home from the gym, usually at around 9:30, I still won't eat for another 4 hours and I'm totally fine. Partly because I'm not hungry and I've got some work to do. But I'm never compelled to think, geez, I just finished my workout, I need to drink a protein shake. And the entire protein powder and workout supplement industry, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry, is built around that way of thinking. You don't need to take any of those things. If you're metabolically flexible and you're good at burning fat, you have all the energy that you need. I have said this many times, but the average person has anywhere between 40 to 100,000 calories of stored energy in the form of body fat that they're carrying around with them, waiting to be used. It's not just there for looks. I'm also one of those people who just never had a big appetite first thing in the morning. I remember force feeding myself when I was still in school. I also had a dad bod. Go figure. Listen, if you're not hungry, why are you eating? Don't eat. It sounds like common sense, but these days, common sense isn't very common. But if you're carb dependent and you're a sugar burner, which is the definition of metabolic inflexibility, most people unfortunately operate in that space, especially if you've just been following that classic food pyramid and you haven't eaten for a while. You've depleted the glycogen stores in your muscles and liver, and because you're carb dependent, your body is expecting you to keep feeding it sugar all the time. And you can only store around 2,000 calories in your muscles and liver. So when you run out, your brain starts freaking out because it doesn't want to die. It then gives you the signal that you gotta eat now. This is when people get hangry. If you don't eat, your body is going to release cortisol, which is your stress hormone, and it's going to start tearing down muscle so that the amino acids can be sent to the liver to be converted into glucose so you can fuel your starving brain. This is called liquidating your assets. You're tearing down your muscles that you've been working so hard to build because of your dependence on constant carb consumption. All of that goes away when you're metabolically flexible. It should really be your number one priority, in my humble opinion. Because if you're metabolically flexible when you don't eat, your body knows how to access body fat. You always have stable blood sugar, which means you don't have these crazy energy and mood swings. More importantly, you get to spare your precious muscles. You just have to eat and make supportive lifestyle choices by following this daily fat burning routine to turn on your innate ability to burn body fat. It's actually your default factory setting as a human being. And you can become metabolically flexible, by the way, in as little as 21 days. I'm also obsessed with biohacking these days, and I'm all about doing free things that yields the greatest ROI. And one of the things that I recently discovered is taking cold showers. Cold therapy has gained more popularity lately because it's linked to numerous health benefits. Scientists have found evidence that exposure to cold speeds up metabolism. It reduces inflammation, swelling, and sore muscles. It's also linked to improved quality of sleep, more focus, and even to an improved immune response. Even as little as 30 seconds of cold exposure every day is enough to get you benefits. Yes, it sucks at first. Just breathe your way through it. You'll get used to it eventually. Remember, our hunter-gatherer ancestors didn't have access to a water heater tank. And if you want to take things to the next level, do an ice bath. Let's go back to eating. At around 1:30 in the afternoon, I'll have my break-fast meal. That is literally what breakfast stands for. I'm on a mostly animal-based whole foods diet these days. My break-fast meal is a couple ounces of pan-fried beef liver, 3 ounces of ground beef, a couple of eggs, and some avocado. And I talk about why those foods specifically are some of the best foods you can eat for weight loss and improving your overall health in this video. But I'm gonna give grass-fed beef liver a quick shout out because it's widely considered to be the most nutrient-dense food on the planet. It's the superfood of all superfoods. I also normally eat non-starchy vegetables like roasted cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, mushrooms, and sweet potatoes back in Canada. But since I'm in Mexico and my place doesn't have an oven and I'm too lazy to cook, I've just ditched most vegetables. By the way, I gave those specific numbers for meat because you want to eat at least 30 to 50 grams of protein for every meal to trigger muscle protein synthesis. After eating, I'll go for a 15-minute walk because it's been shown to cut the blood sugar and insulin response from your meal by half, which is just mind-blowing because the faster you can regulate blood sugar and insulin, the faster you can start burning fat. Then come mid-afternoon, I'll take a 45-minute nap. We evolved as human beings to favor biphasic sleep, by the way, which means napping is good for you. And according to the most recent sleep research, it doesn't affect the quality of your sleep at night. If anything, it improves it. Even as little as a 20-minute nap will give you benefits. You can even take as long as a 1.5-hour nap to complete a full sleep cycle. Then at around 6:30, I'll have my second meal, which again includes some type of animal protein and a couple of eggs. And again, I'll usually have that with some roasted Brussels sprouts and some cauliflower. For my dessert, I'll usually cycle between Greek yogurt, some nuts and cheese, or a couple of squares of dark chocolate. And when you become metabolically flexible and your appetite hormones become more regulated, you'll realize that you actually don't need as much food. And don't get me wrong, I love food. I love to eat. But what I've learned over the years is around 3/4 of the way through my meal, I ask myself subconsciously, and my body tells me this as well, am I still hungry? If I'm not, I'm okay to stop eating. I don't always feel the need to finish the food in front of me. The Okinawans in Japan have a term for this called hara hachibu. They basically stop eating when their stomachs are 80% full. They also have the longest life expectancy on the planet. They're obviously doing something right. But hey, if I'm still hungry, I'll finish my plate. No problem. Then after that, it's time to wind down. I gotta admit, I watch my fair share of Netflix. I mean, we live in the digital age. I also think it's impractical to tell someone to not watch TV. Just try to finish your last episode an hour or at least 30 minutes before bedtime. Also, make sure to put your phone, laptop, and TV on night mode where the screen kind of turns orange. You can also wear blue light blocking glasses. And lastly, let's talk about sleep. This should be sacred time. It's usually lights out for me at around 10:30 or 11. And I have become obsessed with rest and recovery as I learn more about it and how important it is. Sleep is basically when the body renews and regenerates itself. It's so important. It's literally everything. There is no metabolic flexibility or optimal health without it. Not getting adequate and quality sleep, which is 7 hours minimum, moves every health metric in the wrong direction. But I basically give myself 8 hours of sleep allowance in a cool, pitch black room every night. I wear a sleep mask and I also use a special mouth tape that I bought on Amazon to make sure that I'm breathing through my nose throughout the night. And if you snore or you have sleep apnea, taping your mouth could be life-changing for you. What I'm trying to say is nasal breathing is the way to go. Unfortunately, a lot of people are mouth breathers. If for some reason I get less than 7 hours, which again is the bare minimum, I feel it the next day. A single night of bad sleep can raise cortisol, which again is your stress hormone, by 100%. You're basically in a pre-diabetic state the next day. And you can bet that I will do everything in my power so that doesn't happen again for a second consecutive day. I've also been known to skip workouts if I'm just not feeling it that day. Very rarely will you see me out late from social gatherings because again, I wake up at the same time every day. I also love Mindy Kaling's quote when she said, "There is no sunrise so beautiful that it's worth waking me up to see it." Honestly, same. And that's basically it. That's my daily fat burning routine. I also understand that everyone's different. Just do your best to follow it as much as you can. But my point is your health and wellness should be your #1 priority. And just know that you're absolutely worth the effort. You only get one body and you have to live in it. You might as well take care of it. The next question then becomes, how are you actually supposed to eat if you want to lose weight? Because here's the thing. 80% of your body composition is determined by your diet. You can't just freestyle this part. Do you have a proven plan that you can follow? To help you with that, I want to give you a free copy of my Lean Body Blueprint. This is how I was finally able to get rid of all my unwanted body fat without depriving myself of my favorite foods or spending countless hours at the gym. It's a simple 4-step process specifically designed for busy professionals, and it's the exact same blueprint that I teach to all my students, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. If you want to be the next success story, then download your free copy of the Lean Body Blueprint right now. There's going to be a link somewhere at the top here or in the description box. Just click on it, type in your email, and I'll send it to you right away. Hey, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post a new video every week, and feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions about this video. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Virtual high five.